Hey folks, Jiminy Critic here with a movie review of an Oscar-nominated movie for 2010 called 127 Hours. That's right, 127 hours. This movie is taken from the true story of Aron Ralston, mountain climber extraordinaire who was climbing out in the mountains of Utah one day, and all of a sudden, well, I'll tell you a little bit more about the story as it happens, but this movie is based on the story of what happened to this guy. It's directed by Danny Boyle, who brought us some other features such as Sunshine. I like that movie quite a bit. And more recently, the movie Slumdog Millionaire, which was nominated for Oscars as well. Well, this movie, 127 Hours, is on the nomination list for 2010, and it stars James Franco. Basically, there's some other characters that pop in and out of this movie at times, but basically, this is a one-man movie marathon of time if you can stay with him. James Franco's portraying this Aron Ralston character, and they kind of portray him in the movie as a carefree, happy-go-lucky, loves exercise, loves challenges, loves climbing, loves biking, and you basically go with him on this journey that he's going to take out one day. Gets on his bike, he wants to beat the record to get to the mountains that he wants to climb. He meets a couple of hikers and climbers along the way, has a good time with them, jokes around with them, and then kind of moves right on to what he's doing. And here's where the crux of this 127 hours comes to play. If you don't know much about the story at this point, at some time during his climb, a couple of things happen, slips, falls, water, and he gets wedged down in a crevice between some major rocks with a rock that tumbled down in like behind him, you know, closed in on his arm up against the kind of the cave wall. And he tries, of course, for a few minutes in the film to budge and pull and move the rock and get things out. And the more he tries, the more wedged it becomes. And he soon realizes, and think about this, what might go through your mind and what you might do. He soon realizes that he is stuck out here in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the mountains, alone, because he didn't go with anybody. I don't even know if he checked in with anybody to tell them where he was going that particular day. And he realizes he's stuck in this position with no real means for help. He's got a few climbing, you know, accessories with him, some ropes and picks, and of course he brought some food along for the day to last him for a while, assuming he'd probably be going back later that day or the next day. He has a few supplies, but think about what would happen to you if you're out in the middle of nowhere. What might be running through your mind during these times of quiet, you know, a night and a day passes, another night and a day, because we're talking about a little bit over 5 days total here for the total story, and how much depression might set in, and this might be the end of your life. You might be stuck in this cave, stuck up against this wall, you know, until you die. And who knows if they'll ever find you, ever know what happened to you. So the kind of crux of this movie comes to a point when he's starting to get low on energy. He's starting to hallucinate a little bit, which of course is natural compared to what the body's been going through for 4 and 5 days, stuck right here in that cave. And all of a sudden he realizes, you know, there's probably only one way out, if there's any way at all. No help's coming for me. Nobody knows where I am. I'm stuck. And with a few well-placed snaps and cracks that are very loud when you hear them in the theater, the noises, breaking some bones, and then we kind of take out a utility knife out of the pack, and I'm going to leave the rest to your imagination. But if you know the story of Aron Ralston, you realize that he ends up severing his arm to get out of that cave and try to hike it back and make it back to civilization. Of course, we already know the end of the story, that he's alive and well and married and with a family. And it's kind of neat at the end of this movie, you actually see him and his wife and the new baby together, looking happy and healthy and whole. But boy, during that time of being trapped, secluded, alone, all sorts of thoughts going through your head of this is the end, and he starts thinking back to relationships he's had, fun times he's had, sad times he's had. He wishes he would call his mother back more, because I think he left an answering machine voice on the phone before he left, said I'll just get to that later, didn't call her back, and now he's thinking, boy, I wish I could have called mom back one more, you know, all those kind of things. There's a lot of emotion. And I got to give James Franco a lot of credit, because most of the movie, the camera's focused on him. He's the main actor alone, not playing off other people, but just playing through that painful, emotional, tough physical time. So not an easy film to watch. It's rated R. There are some visuals that might be, you know, stomach churning for some people, of course. But hey, it's what happened. It's the reality of it. And I want to recommend that you get a chance while you can to get out and see 127 Hours.